Okay, so first of all, these are the nails I've been wearing for 3 weeks. Usually that's how long I wear a set before I remove them, just because they start to look real dingy and yucky because of what I do. I hit them with files a lot when I'm making other nails and I get paint on them and stuff. Just showing you that none of them are lifting. And I'm going to quickly show you how I remove them, because whenever you apply them with acrylic, it's kind of hard to remove them if you want to. Obviously, you can wear them for longer than 3 weeks, and then at some point they might start, lifting and coming off, and it would be easier for you to get them off. But since I only wear them for 3 weeks, I remove them like this. So I start by cutting off the length of them, and then I go into filing them. I know this video is supposed to be about application, so I'm just going to quickly do this in case anyone wants to know how I get them off. Yeah, I file them down completely until there's just a very thin layer of clear acrylic left on them. This prevents you from having to file over your regular nails like every time you do your nails, because you'll just leave a thin layer of acrylic and it will protect them. Now, if you don't want to buy or use an e-file, I don't blame you. You can hurt yourself using them. So you can definitely just use like a regular 100 grit file and just file down the nails like halfway and then soak them in acetone for like 20 or 30 minutes. Then you can just take something similar to a cuticle pusher and just wipe all the acrylic off of your nails. And then the electric file that I'm using is from Amazon. It's amazing. It's like a little portable one. It was not very expensive at all, but it's definitely strong enough to do what I want it to do. And then the drill bit that I'm using is from eBay, and oh my god, I love it. I've bought like several of them. I've tried so many, and I feel like this one is the best at removing large amounts of acrylic quickly. And I like never cut myself using it, so that's awesome. So I'm going to try to link everything below that I'm using or something super similar that's on Amazon or eBay, just because I feel like that makes things so much simpler for someone who doesn't exactly know what they're doing or what they need to get. Okay, now I'm going to start with the application process. So you definitely have to start by pushing back your cuticles. Very important. You can do this with a cuticle pusher or like a file or like your other fingernail, whatever you got to do. And then this is the cuticle bit that I'm going to use. I love this one. I think I got it from eBay. But I feel like it's a little bit more rough than regular ones, but I like it because it really roughs up the nail and makes acrylic stick to it really well. So I use it to get all the dead skin off of like the back of the nail, and then I go over the entire nail with it. I know I already just got done filing, but if I didn't, then I would use this over top of the entire nail also, just to rough it up and get rid of any excess oils that are left on the nail, because you want the nail to be as dry as possible. Now you can definitely use a regular nail file to get the dead skin off your nails and like rough them up. I would use like a 240 or 180 grit, but I definitely think that using an e-file is so much easier because it just gets back there so much easier. It just fits. And then I was trying to decide which nails I wanted to put on. I ended up going with the long stiletto ones because they look much more summery, but they're done on E-Nail Couture's extreme tapered stilettos. They are the sharpest, most pointy stilettos ever freaking made, but I love them. They look beautiful, and they require very little filing to get that shape. But definitely make sure to add a lot of strength to them, because I've had them break, whereas the other nails that I'm holding in my other hand, I've never had break, and they're from A-Press, so I think that those ones are made stronger, but it's fine if you just add builder gel or acrylic like underneath of them, and it helps them not break. Okay, and then next you gotta prep the nails. Very important. One of these is a primer, one of them is a dehydrator. You start with the dehydrator. It just dries out your nails as much as possible. I feel like it's just like alcohol or acetone or something. Those also work as dehydrators. And then the primer, okay, a lot of people put on 2 layers of primer. I don't ever do that. But if you have lifting issues or problems with your nails popping off, you could try doing that because it could help. But these steps are very important. You have to make sure you're doing them if you're going to use acrylic ever, or else it just won't stick. And then for acrylic monomer, this is the one that I've been using, but it's quite pricey. It's from Nail Career Education, this girl on YouTube. She's amazing. I mean, she does great tutorials, but yeah, that's her monomer. I like it, but I don't think I'll buy it again because I can definitely get a cheaper one. And then for clear acrylic, I just use Mia Secret. You can get it on Amazon or eBay. And then you're also going to need these clear clips to like hold the nails down. Lila's showing her little Mr. Krabs. But yeah, they're pretty important. I'll link them below too. And then this is my acrylic brush. It doesn't look very good, but it doesn't need to. I always ruin acrylic brushes. I don't know. I'm just not good with acrylic. Obviously this is showing right now that probably anybody can do what I'm about to do because it doesn't take much skill, but I still end up fucking up the brushes. So after I'm done, every time that I use my acrylic brush, I just soak it in acetone for like a half an hour to get out all the nastiness because I always get acrylic stuck in it and then it turns hard. So you're going to start by taking a little clumpy clump of acrylic. You could maybe watch acrylic videos just to see how to do this, but really you just dip it in the monomer and then you go and dip it in the acrylic and then you put a little clumpy clump inside of the nail. And actually the nail career education girl, she has a video showing how she does this, except she puts the acrylic on her finger instead of in the nail. I think that that could be maybe less messy, but it seems harder to me to get the right amount in there. So I've just been putting it inside of the nail first. And then I go underneath the nail and just like pull up any excess that like squished out the bottom. I also like wipe around the edges just to make sure if anything squeezed out the sides. But you can definitely like try to learn how to put the correct amount in there so that that doesn't happen, you know. The reason that I like to use a monomer that I'm using, it's like a slow setting monomer, which is good for beginners, but for me, it's just a lot more liquidous. And I feel like whenever the bead is more liquidy underneath the nail, it's easier to squish it on and it to like actually form around your nail. So whenever I used a fast setting monomer, it was just kind of like, sometimes it would just be a little too dry in there. So that's why I'm using that one, but you can definitely just use a regular monomer. Oh, and then my other favorite thing about like a slow setting monomer, it's also called an odorless monomer because I mean, okay, it still smells, but it definitely smells a million times less strong than regular monomer. And that shit smells up my apartment. My boyfriend hates it. I'm sure my toddler wouldn't love it. And it kind of makes my brain feel like it's melting, so I'd rather just use the odorless one. But yeah, as you can see, after I put the nail on, you have like a couple minutes to maneuver and do whatever you want with it. So I just get it situated straight. Thank God you have time to do that, whereas with glue you don't, and then some of them look crooked. I get them straight and then I put that clip on them just to hold them in place while they dry. I only bring out 3 clips at a time and I just use each clip, and then like once I get done with the last one or whatever, then I move it to my next finger, and then by then the other one is cured, if you get what I'm saying. So the application process literally takes like 20 minutes. I just don't understand why everybody in the world doesn't do this instead of going to a salon where it takes so long, like hours and hours of like building and shaping and then painting, and oh my god, like you could save so much of your time if you just had someone make the nails for you and then you went there and they applied them in like a half an hour, and then they would last just as long, be just as strong as acrylic nails that you get at the salon. I feel like this is the new thing that everybody should be doing. And then lastly, I'm just applying cuticle oil. I didn't show me doing every nail because that seems like a lot when I'm doing the same exact thing on every nail. But yeah, this is what they look like when they're done. They look so nice. Like compared to what I could do with like acrylic or polygel, whatever, they look so much better. The cuticles look so much cleaner. The paint around the cuticles is perfect because it's just on the nail. This is the technique for people who struggle with actually doing their nails but want salon quality nails. And then obviously you don't even have to be the one to make the nails. You can buy press-on nails from so many different people. And as long as they're not like cheaply made ones from Etsy or something where they bend and break, then you could definitely do this with them and wear them for weeks. So yeah, that's all for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll be back soon with more videos. Bye!